Welcome to this Windows channel, and this is the tech news for Monday, November 23rd, 2015. Today in the news, we have Windows 10 for businesses. Basically, in a survey in the past few weeks, businesses, more than half of the businesses in the US have mentioned that they will be using Windows 10 and they want to upgrade to Windows 10 before the end of 2016, which is interesting news. And I think a good news for Microsoft, because more and more Microsoft is getting its money from enterprise solutions, and so volume licensing and all of that. I think it's good news that everybody seems to want to go to Windows 10 in the enterprise, and I think also it's good news because it means that enterprise is kind of positive and think that Windows 10 is worthy of an upgrade. And most of them will probably upgrade from Windows 7 because technically Windows 8 was probably not used a lot in enterprise, basically. So I think that's good news for Microsoft. And other news for those that think Apple always does things right. Basically, iPad Pro has a major problem. It seems that a lot of iPad Pros actually become almost bricked with a black screen while charging, and Apple has acknowledged that it is a problem and it's working on a fix, but nothing yet has been released to fix that. So we're talking, last week I was talking about the Surface Book and the Surface Pro 4 that had problems with Microsoft. Well, iPad Pro is apparently problematic. So if you're thinking of buying one, maybe wait a little before they will fix the bugs in it, basically. What the hell is happening with Microsoft? We've learned that this weekend, the media creation tool, if you download the image file from the media creation tool, you are now back to 10.240, which is the image file that was released on July 29th for Windows 10. For some reason, they've actually took out the release that had 10.586 on it that would install it with the Windows November update. And we don't even understand why. There's no explanation why, and it's kind of scary, and we're thinking, what? Well, why did you do that? This is so weird, It's like, why do you do this? Why do you do this? One of the things that Microsoft did say, and that was really cool, is the fact that we would be able to update easily because of these image files that would be updated and so on. Suddenly they pull it off. Why? That is interesting. What could be the reason behind this? I have absolutely no explanation of why Microsoft would do this. This is very, very, very bizarre. So is it a glitch? Is there a problem with it that they didn't say? What? So bizarre, this is in a continuing bizarre and weird way that sometimes Microsoft will act with its, with all its technologies. Very, very weird. Anyway, we'll keep you updated on this news as we get more details, but for now, there's just no explanation to why they removed it. So basically, if you have made your media creation tool, your DVD, your image file before Friday, November 20th, you're okay. You have 10.586, you have the November update on that image file, and keep it preciously because it's gone right now. And for all of those that right now want to clean install, you'll have to install 10.240 and update to 10.586 through the Windows Update. Why? Nobody knows. Yahoo, one of the first to actually talk about what they won't plan to do against people using ad blockers. Yahoo has mentioned that they will limit the usage of Yahoo Mail accounts if you're using an ad block. Yahoo Mail is free, and one of the reasons why it's free is because of the ads. And Yahoo is one of the first to actually, step out and say, well, you know what? It's not fair. You're using an ad blocker, then we're not going to let you use Yahoo Mail like you want. And I think it's a fair move. Personally, I think it's a fair move. And personally, I do think that more and more websites will eventually do it. I know that Microsoft is thinking of doing something similar with their Outlook.com page. I know also that there are some websites that are starting to think, to limit the activity of people using ad blockers also. And that's what's coming because frankly, people on the web, the ads are the number one way for all of these websites to actually have revenue. I make these videos. I love making these videos, but I tell, like I say all the time, if everybody would use an ad block, I wouldn't do a news item every day probably. I wouldn't be doing all of that because that's revenue. It's the way the internet works. And personally, I understand there are some websites that went overboard with their ads. But basically, I don't understand why people, use ad blocks everywhere all the time. Because if you like, at least if you like a website, if you like content somewhere, I think people should at least, disable the ad blocks on what they like at a minimum. So, the more people will use ad blocks, the more people will be surprised at what content is unavailable because, if they don't get revenue, it's not going to be there. That's for sure. And, there are going to be ways of doing things. I'm pretty sure Google and YouTube are working on a way to have ads that won't be affected by the ad blocks. And I know that a lot of websites are using technologies that still display ads even if you have an ad block. And more these will be popular. And you'll still have ads, and it won't do anything. So we'll see as time goes by. And personally, I have no problems. I'm not using an ad block. I never did use an ad block, and I'll never use an ad block. That's for sure. And finally, in our last bit of news, talking about updates for Windows 10, it seems that the pace of upgrades to Windows 10 has started to quicken again. It started to pick up. Not just in the week to the November update, but apparently since the start of November, the upgrade to Windows 10 started really picking up speed. So it's going to be interesting to see what numbers we have eventually. I'm pretty sure we'll have numbers probably at maybe the first week of December or something like that. And it's going to be interesting to see where we are at Windows 10 installs. But it does seem that maybe it's the November update, but the pace is quickening again after slowing down for a few months. So it's going to be interesting to see how many installs of Windows 10 we have in the coming weeks and months. So this was the tech news for Monday, November 23rd, 2015. If you enjoy our videos, why not subscribe to our channel? You'll be informed when new videos are online. If you have comments, questions, problems, let us know. If you enjoy our videos, give us a thumbs up, helps us on YouTube. And thank you so much for following us, and it's fun to have your feedback.